Hello and welcome to Forest Pathology at Oregon State University. My name is Hazel and today I'm going to be showing you some of the Forest Pathology lab samples for the disease cedar-apple rust, which is caused by the pathogen Gymnosporangium various species. So for Forest Pathology class, we're not going to ask you to identify down to the species. You can just give us the genus Gymnosporangium and the disease name cedar-apple rust. So these are just a few examples. These are obviously dried samples. As with many rusts, this pathogen requires two hosts to complete its life cycle. So the main host, or the primary host, is juniper or incense cedar. That's the cedar part of the disease named cedar-apple rust. And the secondary or alternate species is species in the family Rosaceae, which include serviceberry, hawthorn, etc., or apple. So here you can see sort of a zoomed out image, and I will now be focusing in on, first I'm going to show you the main host. This is the gall that's produced. This is a dried version of the gall that's produced. Okay. There we go. So again, this is a dried version of the gall. During the wet season, these galls are covered in very conspicuous orange soft growths, which we call teleal horns. And these, of course, have teleospores, which are produced and released, again, during wet weather. After the wet weather is over, the galls dry out, meaning that you'll no longer see those very bright, large, conspicuous teleal horns, and you're left with this much smaller dried gall. And if I change the zoom a little bit, you might be able to just see where the gall is growing out of the host branch there. Okay, now I'm going to show you what the alternate or secondary host looks like. And so there we go. You'll see these red growths. This is the underside of the leaf. If you look just above the midvein of the leaf, you'll also see some dark circles. Again, this is the underside of the alternate host. And you'll be able to see, if this were a fresh sample, you would be able to see the acia growing out of the bottom of this leaf, producing, of course, aciospores. If we flip this over, on the top side of the leaf, you can see this dark circle. In a fresh sample, this would be much brighter. And the spot would be the spermagonia. Cedar-apple rust does not produce Uridina spores, so it is not a complete rust life cycle like what we are learning in class. This is a partial rust life cycle. But again, it does require two hosts. I'll flip back to the larger camera. Again, this is cedar-apple rust caused by a Gymnosporangium species. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.